the 18th of March 2026. We are back again to look for opportunities in the capital markets as always, so that we can continue to grow our network just as the rich do. Thank you very much for joining from wherever you are. I am your wealth creation enthusiast with a passion for helping individuals and corporate organizations build their personal and corporate net worth via investing in the stock markets and the money markets. And of course, this is the Net Worth Investors Club, a community of individual investors who have decided to come together, join forces, sacrifice their time to exchange knowledge, ideas, analyze stocks, and look for the best available investment opportunities so that we can continue to build wealth. Thank you very much from wherever you are joining. If you have been following me in the last 5 years, or you just joined me in the last 1 month, congratulations, because we are on a journey for life. Notice one thing about the rich: they never stop making money moves. And if you enjoy making money, then you are in the right place, because I am here to take you through that walk so that we can continue to grow together. Thank you very much from all platforms where you have joined, on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, Facebook. I appreciate you for your tenacity at building wealth, and we will go all the way. Now, something strange. Today is Wednesday. We normally have these sessions Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but unfortunately, this will be the last session for the week. There will be no live stream on Friday because of the Muslim holidays. Tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, the 19th and 20th of March 2026, are public holidays. And so, enjoy the last trading day of the week in the Nigerian stock market as we make progress from here. What we will do right now is to go on to take your comments. Before then, of course, we will review what happened yesterday in the capital markets. A whole lot is going on. I'll give you that update later regarding one Nigerian bank that has indeed come out firing on all cylinders. But before then, review of trading activities yesterday. The Nigerian exchange all-share index climbed by 54 basis points yesterday as Boa Cement and Taiwan GTCO first hold and UB performance indicators surged as the market sustained its bullish momentum, buoyed by bargain hunting in medium and large cap stocks. Stockbrokers said major of the uptrend first Boa Cement, GTCO, and others. For the second consecutive time, the industrial goods sector and the banking sector contributed the most, gaining 4.44% and 4.3% respectively. The market index increased by 1,084 basis points to close at 202,559.57. Likewise, equity market capitalization gained 696.31 billion naira to close at 130.03 trillion naira. Total volume of trades and the total value traded increased by 84.75% and 79.15% respectively. Stock brokers told investors that approximately 1.7 billion units valued at 88 billion were transacted across 62,654 deals. FCMB topped the volume chart, accounting for 29.54% of all units traded in the stock market, followed by Wema Bank, Zenith Bank, Access, and GTCO. Zenith accounted for 20.56% of total trade volume, making it the most traded on the exchange. Meanwhile, on the best performance chart, Boa Cement led with 10% gain, followed by Premier Paints, Zenith Bank, NACO, RT Briscoe, VFD, and 33 others. A total of 33 stocks depreciated. With a price depreciation of 10%, Presco topped the worst performance chart yesterday, followed by Carberton, NSL Tech, Guinea Insure, International Brews, Etana Oil. Hence, the market bread closed on a positive note with 39 gainers and 33 losers. Ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end here of the review of trading activities regarding yesterday's market performances. Therefore, we go on now to take your comments all the way till 1 p.m. Nigerian time, when we shall be enjoying the calls from TikTok. But before then, please be informed, the stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. I beg of you, always make sure you know what you are doing in the market, and then come in with patient funds. Never approach the stock market with a gambler's mentality. This is not Ponzi. This is not Forex. This is not crypto. When you invest in stocks, you are buying a part of a company. Ladies and gents, let's proceed with the news that Zenith Bank, after yesterday's performance, is now the most capitalized Nigerian bank. Suddenly, the Zenith that has been trailing GTCO, trading at 58, 60, 70, while GTCO was doing 100 plus, is now what, 100 naira per share. In fact, 109 at this point. I saw it trade 111 earlier before coming on live. And ladies and gentlemen, this should encourage someone. How do I mean? Somebody may be looking better than you at what you do, or where you work, or where you school. Please, you are in no competition with anybody. Your best competition is your previous self. Who you were yesterday is your best competition, because you can do better than who you were yesterday, and you continue that trend, you are ultimately becoming a much better person, and you are doing just fine. Please do not be intimidated by figures mentioned in the course of this live stream. From where you are, one step at a time, keep building. And as long as you continue to improve your net worth, I can tell you, you will make it. So please, Zenith has shown to us that no matter what, against all odds, it has now launched into the 100 naira per share club amongst banks, and so becomes the only third bank to cost 100 naira plus per share. And of course, the other news that might have also influenced the jump in the price is that Zenith now has plans not only to open a branch in Manchester tomorrow. Zenith is also going to be listed on the London Stock Exchange next year. And so it's now looking like every bank that decides to list on London Stock Exchange, minimum valuation is 100 naira plus, because until now, we never knew anything about Zenith getting listed. And once that news made the rounds, there you go, Zenith is now up there, almost in pari passu in terms of price with GTCO. I told you some time ago that they were always about the same price at some point. Even their public offers, when they all started, first public offer was 5 naira, the next public offer was 10 naira, both of them the same thing. And they were running together the same way until at some point, perhaps due to maybe the corporate governance structure of GTCO, it became more appealing to foreign portfolio investors those days. So they were happy to price GTCO far more than Zenith. Like I told you about competition, Zenith kept churning out numbers. Dividend per share, Zenith was paying more, yet GTCO was priced above. But suddenly, Zenith is up there also. Please stay focused, don't be distracted, remain disciplined and consistent in what you do. Very soon, you too will be announced. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how I welcome you here. Maobi is one of our moderators. His account was banned on TikTok, so he's not been able to join us on that platform. But never mind, as we progress in this live stream, you all will be a part of this. Thank you very much. We go on to your comments right now as we make progress here. Emmanuel Chima is on YouTube. Good afternoon to you too. Gladys Edegware, good afternoon to you. R.S. Paloski, Miriam Welo, Wisdom Okafor, Gabi, Diamond Henry, Kehinde Akinawo, Golf and Timothy, James Adeniyi, I salute you all. Caritas, Peter, Emeka, thank you very much for joining on YouTube. And so Gladys says, Access should get listed on the LSE. Well, it takes a lot to do that. Expect right now, as a matter of fact, is you begin to look towards getting listed on the LSE as well. I know Tony to enjoy and relish challenges like this, and of course Femi Otedola's first holdco also may just begin to look towards getting listed on the LSE, because you see these banks, the Fugas, do not want to be left out. And if you are just joining us or starting your journey on the NSE, you've been hearing Fuga, the 5 top indigenous Nigerian banks in no particular order. F standing for First Bank, which is now known as First Holdco, U for UBA, G for GTCO, A for Access, and Z for Zenith. Fugas, the 5 top indigenous Nigerian banks. You may be wondering why Stanbic is not on that list, because it has a coloration of foreign ownership. That's why I said it. Fugas to get listed on the London Stock Exchange. We see how it goes. I know these two guys, Tony Elumelu of UBA, Femi Otedola of First Bank, they relish competitions like this. We see how it goes from here. Hello, coach, with 75K today. Why top up Chance or Lafarge? 75K will not fetch you too much of Lafarge, so you go ahead and top your Chance. Coach, can one still take position in Zenith? Eloho, Lolo. Actually, it's even pulling back a little bit. Let's see what the situation is with Zenith right now. The excitement is all over the place, and I can tell you Zenith can match anything GT Bank does. Even last year, Zenith paid slightly more. GTCO paid much more than Zenith, but you know what? Last year's interim dividend, Zenith paid more. So Zenith is warming up, and I can assure you they will not make the mistake of declaring anything less than what GT does. Remember what happened last year? In April last year, Zenith went ahead to pay the 5 naira final dividend that GTCO always pays alongside them. And after they did, GT announced 7 naira per share. And that suddenly saw the price of GT jumping and creating that gap. So this time around, Zenith is not making that mistake. If they will announce their dividend per share ahead of GTCO, that's because they must have gotten concrete knowledge of what GT is paying, because they do not want to be outpaid again. They have enough. As a matter of fact, I think their earnings per share should be more than that of GTCO, if I'm not mistaken. By the time the financials are out, we will see. So, no more shooting yourself in the foot. Everyone stand by and watch what happens. GTCO may come out and declare 8 naira or 10 naira. Zenith will surely match that. And the competition in terms of price per share continues. Okay, good morning, coach. What's the rate to enter PZ and NGS group today? User with several numbers, no name. Let's see. NGX and PZ. So on the equities board, I rushed down there now to check. First off, NGX. How much is NGX today? Is at 186 naira 50 kobo, slightly down by 25 kobo from the 186.85. 1.5 million bids versus 1.4 million offers. The highest bid is at 183. I don't know if this is okay, but listen up, guys. It's going to be a long weekend. Today is the last trading day. And so, more or less, today is more like the Friday. But will a lot of brokers and individual investors remember this while they are executing their trades? Because after today, there will be no more trade until Monday. Let's see how that pans out. And then for the second one, you mentioned PZ. PZ is now 76. Was trading around 73 for so long, but now 76. In any case, you could put in a bid at 74.90 and see how that goes. There are nearly 3,000 bids above that. After that, it could be your turn. But take note, 14 million bids are lined up against just 1 million offers. Perhaps that explains why PZ is now at 76 from the 74 Naira 95 kobo it closed yesterday. Morning, coach. What's driving the price of Boa cement? Bought last Monday at 220. Should one take some profit now? T Fete. Boa cement, we really cannot place what is behind its rally. But you know what? If you have to take profit, do so immediately, because as we speak right now, Boa is at 322 Naira, down from the 326 it closed yesterday, and at 322 you are 100 Naira up in profit as we speak. Can you beat that? You bought last Monday, you made 100 Naira per share. This is the type of profit I want to take with both hands very quickly, because there is no clear justification for the rally by Boa Cement. Dividend declared is not so wonderful, and yet the now building up more than the bids. 913,000 offers for Boa versus 538,000 bids. So if you need to jump out, this is the time to. What's the best price to enter? Press code. So press code 1,700. I was so tempted, but I wasn't prepared. Let's see how much it is right now. That was a fantastic opportunity there. Presco is at 1,806 at the moment. So there's a whole lot of deals going on. I think the investing public is seeing what a fantastic opportunity there is right now, considering the fact Presco has always been at 1,300 for so long, until perhaps shares block transaction was done that drove the price down to 1,875. Now it's at 1,806 at the moment. 1.4 million bids. You see, the market recognizes that Presco is now selling at a discount. And honestly, for anyone who really needs Presco, this is the time. 397,000 offers versus 1.4 million bids. Presco bids for Presco never mounts this much. The difference never used to be this much. So it speaks a lot about what's going on. Coach, please kindly update about UBA. That's coming from I am Coffee right away. UBA currently down from the 50 or 90 kobo to 49.70. That's the price. They've come again with this bags of offers. 39 million offers for UBA versus 4.8 million bids. So that explains why the price seems to be looking like it's dipped a little bit from the 50 to 49. All right. Ferromi says, Coach, what of tip? What about tip, Ferromi? What's your question? I want to guess that you just want situation report. All right, I'll give it to you right away. Now, yesterday tip closed at 20 naira 20 kobo, but at this very moment it's at 20 naira per share, and there are 3.8 million bids. Good afternoon, the great wealth coach. Sir, I have 50K. I'm considering topping up one of these PZ, VFD Group, UPDC REITs. Sir, which should I go for? Abubakar Shamsuddin, straight up, pick up more PZ with your 50,000 naira, because there is still room for PZ to perform. How do I mean? 20 naira that minute is now 19 naira 90 kobo. Someone just transacted 1,500 shares at 19 naira 90 kobo. So this is what you get when you tune into this live stream. I give you minute by minute, blow by blow commentary on what the stock prices are for any of these listed companies by the second, because prices change from time to time and so on and so forth, including bid and offer status as well. So, how much can I bid for McNichols today? Bosse, Fayan Juola. Bosse, let's see. McNichols, I saw it doing some form of recovery. It's now up to 6 naira 15 kobo after closing yesterday at 6 naira per share. I'll give you the bid and offer status very soon. There you go. There are more offers in the market. 4.3 million offers versus 1.7 million bids. And guess what? Out of the 4.3 million offers, 3.8 million are at the lowest bid, offer of 6 naira 15 kobo, while the highest bidder is haggling at 6 naira 8 kobo. So we understand there is pressure on the seller. A single seller has 3.8 million out of the 4.3 total offers. So that individual is under pressure to sell. And the buyers are not in a hurry because there are just 1.7 million bids. So there is a chance it could sell lower than the 615 that is right there. Coach, what about New Gold Exchange? We're talking about the ETF, New Gold. It's been flying. I saw it gyrating today. Let me give you an update. But guess what? At the moment, it's losing 2,000 naira per unit. New Gold currently losing 2,000 naira per unit, even though the bids are more than the offers. Yesterday it closed at 100,000 naira per unit, but at this very moment it's at 98,000 naira per unit, and there are 268 bids versus 51 offers. It will interest you to note that the 52 weeks high is 110,000 per unit. And guess what? The 52 weeks low is 1,300 naira. So you can imagine this New Gold ETF once traded at 1,300 naira per unit. In the last 1 year, within the last 1 year, there was a time it sold at 1,300. That's what 52 weeks low tells us. And the 52 weeks high is 110,000 naira per unit. So imagine somebody bought this ETF 1,003, and even at current price of 98,000, you can imagine what that is. So if somebody actually invested 1.3 million on New Gold, let me do the quick calculation, and somehow, some way, this reveals how you can really make a lot of money on ETFs, but you must time your entry and make sure you are not entering at the high. That's where the problem is. So 1,300,000 naira invested in new gold at 1,300 naira per unit would have fetched you 1,000 units. At today's price of 98,000 per unit, we are talking about 98 million naira. Can you really believe that? This is simply amazing. So if you are participating in any of these ETFs, try and make sure you are buying them at below their net asset value. I've said it before. Okay? All right. Let's keep going, Coach. Good afternoon. Getting new stock with 1 million, please. Which is better, Wapco, Bitter Glass, or Presco, and at what entry, sir? Wow, these are solid companies you have mentioned. They are difficult to pick from them. I would say 1 million under consideration. Presco, we clear everything and you won't see much in terms of number of shares. Even though it's not about the number of shares, by the way. Wapco could be the best option there because even Bitter Glass is more than twice the price of Wapco. Let's see how much Wapco sells for at the moment. I think 220 naira per share. So our best option there is Wapco. Currently 223 naira per share. Keep your comments coming in. Let's go to Facebook. Yes, we have a lot of participants there. First to Sandro says, good afternoon, sir. Please say something about Unicell stock. I have it, but I have not been able to sell it over 1 month. You got stock in a stock that didn't really have justification for its rally. So Unicell continues to frustrate you because suddenly those who hyped the stocks have dumped it on those who chased the hype. Currently 129 naira, down from the 143 naira. Unicell is on full offer. I've been here saying this since last year regarding Unicell, and I told us there was no justification for a stock like Unicell to be selling as 20 kobo per share. Earnings per share 20 kobo, be selling as high as 143 naira. When you have a stock like Custodian or PZ earning 9 naira or 11 naira per share and still selling at 70 something naira, it's unbelievable what people pay for. Well, you are stuck there because the market suddenly wakes up to realize this stock is overpriced. And so every day for several months now, Unicell is on full offer. How do I mean full offer? Nobody is putting in a single bid for the stock. Everyone who has it is trying to sell. And when there are no offers, then there are no bids and there are no transactions. Imagine after 2.5 hours of trading today, only 1,714 Unicell has been traded. So that's the reason why you are unable to sell your Unicell. Can one get MTN shares now between UB and Zenith Bank? Which will you recommend? Infi Kaili. Infi, I am thinking getting into Zenith Bank now, you are late to the party because I remember we were buying Zenith. I was encouraging people buy Zenith 58 naira, buy Zenith 54 naira, buy Zenith 70 naira, 60 naira, even up to 90 naira. Now it's at 111. It's now almost like done the much it can at the moment. So I would say go for UBA instead of Zenith. Not because UBA is better, but you want to position yourself in a place where you don't want profit takers to now sell down on you. You go ahead and buy at 111 naira, 109 naira per share for Zenith Then profit takers remember, oh, I bought at 78 naira. There's still a lot of money that I made, over 30 naira plus. Therefore, I'm going to keep selling. And then they sell down to 90. Then you who just bought at 110 becomes frustrated. So to avoid that, this very minute, UBA better, because it's even pulling back from the 50 it touched yesterday, currently 49 or so. For MTN, that one is a must-have in every portfolio, because MTN is the future, and they found a way to wriggle out of their problems of 2024, and they are back with a bang. Currently 759 naira. Question is, how do you deploy the funds that is now available to you? Always too much decisions to make, but too little money to deploy. And it's a fantastic headache to find yourself in, if you ask me. Do you have a WhatsApp or Telegram group for your... Sorry, I missed that comment. It's a lot of comment on Facebook. I must pay attention here right now. Let's give them some time. Now I can't see that comment to scroll past. Okay. From Rita EK says, do you have a WhatsApp or Telegram group for your followers? Rita, yes, we are on Discord app. I'll share that eventually. Maybe this long weekend will help me revisit Facebook inquiries, because the live stream remains on Facebook for several days before it's taken down. So I'll be back here on Facebook. You can hear me to respond to most of your queries. As far as joining Network Investors Club is concerned, I'll share the link with you, and then you can be able to join. Coach, I have like 500 units of Stanbic. Is it advisable for me to sell it and go for Zenith Bank? Well, why do you want to go for Zenith Bank now that Zenith Bank has risen? You should have gone for Zenith before it rose. We kept saying it. Zenith is undervalued. It will just keep finding its level, and finally it's found its level. I don't think it makes sense now to start going to buy Zenith. Let's get away from the social media approach of investing, and that's what puts people in trouble. Whenever you see a stock being mentioned that it has just achieved something great, that's not the time to buy. But somehow, for those who do not understand how the market works, you are almost seeing it as a call to action to go and buy that stock. A lot of times I make a comment about a stock based on the fact it has done wonders from when we were mentioning or buying. And then people now come and try to start buying it or ask, is it still safe to buy now? No. We decide what to buy early, right here, and you are all witnesses that all of these stocks that eventually jumps, we actually got in early. For instance, BUA from nowhere, boom, 300 and something naira per share, 320 something per share. This was a BUA we were buying at 90 naira and 75 naira. Most of you bought at 90, under 100 naira. It's at 300 and something. So when we now celebrate BUA at 300, you shouldn't just go and start looking for BUA to buy. Look for the next thing that we repeatedly mention here. I've mentioned so many stocks during the live streams that have really come out to do well after several months of mentioning. There are too many of them to refer to. USCN was lagging at 30-something, 50-something, 60-something. It ran to 100 after the deal when it acquired Chi Limited from Coca-Cola and came back down to 68. And I kept saying, buy this USCN until I got tired of saying that. Now USCN has found its level at 100. Too many of these stocks. Zenith, I mentioned during the forbearance threat to banks, and stock prices collapsed to 45 naira per share. I said, buy this Zenith. And then before we know it, boom, 100 naira. Vitafoam, 25 naira, 45 naira. I kept saying, buy Vitafoam. What do we have now? Boom, over 100 naira. So do not go and start looking for stocks that have done a major leap to buy. What are you buying? The stock market never moves on a straight line. Understand this reality, and then you'll be safe and not throw your money around. Coach, I'm a beginner. Please, which share should I buy, sir? Kolade Shegun, first share to buy is knowledge. Join the Network Investors Club and get sufficient knowledge from the group. You can ask questions there, but you see, telling you what to buy is one thing. Your own investment goal that we have no idea of is another, because we do not have an idea if you're a long-term investor or even a trader. You need sufficient knowledge of how the market works. That's why we say, come into Network Investors Club, request via DM on my Instagram page, and I'll share the link with you. Then you invest from the point of knowledge. Okay? Coach, please, what stock can one dump? 1 million, very solid stock for 6 months to 1 year. Thank you. E-Will wants to dump 1 million. Like that language, dumping. So it tells me that's not hot money, in the sense that it is not a short-term fund. Where to dump 1 million, very solid stock? Well, I can't go past the likes of PZ at the moment. Where are those stocks that haven't made runs yet? UBA at the moment, UBA is down to 49, like I said, still down to 49. And then anyone who has a long-term view, $752, not a bad enterprise. $759, not a bad enterprise for MTN at the moment. Could it go lower than this? We will find out as time goes on, because there are 2.6 million offers for MTN, only 849,000 leads. Love of your life, says Coach, is Veritas Capital Assurance a good stock for 1 million challenge? I have never mentioned it for 1 million challenge, if I'm not mistaken, but it's actually looking like a good candidate. I used to be a lover of Veritas. I once decided to acquire 10 million shares. It wasn't long ago, in 2024. And then I kept on amassing the stock from 65 kobo to 85 kobo to 90 kobo and so on. But along the line, I lost faith and ran out. In any case, whatever hit it at the beginning of 2025, it has recovered very well. And these things happen to young businesses. I'm telling you the truth. There are times when it stays at the penny stock range for so long, then suddenly, boom, it overcomes that baby nature. It's happening again for some stocks. We're still keeping a close eye on them. Stocks like McNichols, stocks like Mutual Benefits, stocks like Tantalizer, stocks like RT Briscoe, Jais Bank. They are developing and trying to permanently get out of being penny stocks. Okay? Keep your comments coming in. I have 38,000 units in Veritas. Okay? I bought 8,000 units of UB at 45, Pelmoda, all right? What do you see about Boa Cement, sir? Well, I see nothing else but a pullback, because those profit takers will not rest until they pull out their funds. Coach, please, can you recommend stocks for startup 300K? Just go in, dump it on tip. The man who said he wanted to dump on a stock, dump that 1 million also on tip. Let's see how much tip is doing at the moment. We are expecting anytime from next month that tip will do their allotments, all things being equal. 4.2 million bids for tip, 1.1 million offers at the moment. Currently 20 naira per share. Okay, how much can I bid on a tip? Fair on me. Maybe 19 naira, 70 kobo, not bad. I wish the market realizes and all participants really remember that today is the last trading day. That will give us a whole lot more bargains in the market to position in. Okay? All right, ladies and gents, let's keep going on to your comments now on YouTube. Morning, Coach. Why is Transcorp not joining this party of price jump? Or it's waiting for the right time? Taritos, Peter, Emeka. This has been the characteristics of Tony Elumelu's stocks or lead company stocks. They just tend to look away from what's going on, as if to say we will not be distracted by price actions of other stocks. Maybe their own time will come. One thing to understand is not every stock will jump at the same time. If you get this understanding, you will find your peace. The question is, are the fundamentals of Transcorp looking good enough to take a long-term position in? And I'm saying yes, it is. So whether it joins the party or not a problem. A time will come, it will jump. I remember UBA lingering around 16 naira for so long. Then its time came, boom, 28 naira. Before we see it at this 40 something, it is now appearing to linger on as well. But keep your eyes closed and watch. Now that Zenith has done that leap, watch for two banks, UBA and First World Co. Suddenly, they will start walking towards 60. And if you like, from what I said earlier, the assertions I made, Tony Elumelu and Femi Otedola will start making inquiries of how to get listed on the London Stock Exchange as well. That's the We are now taking comments on YouTube at the moment. What do you think about Cornerstone Insurance? They have strong cash reserves. Should I hold or sell? Well, the first question would be, why did you buy Cornerstone? If the reasons for buying Cornerstone hasn't changed yet, for whatever basis you bought Cornerstone, there has not been any fundamental difference, stay there. Otherwise, sell, because perhaps you see better opportunities to put your money in. Okay? All right. To comments difficult to track. Let's see from Agbona Festus. Good afternoon, sir. Please say something about Unicell stock. I have it, but I have not been able to sell it over 1 month. I think I have responded to that. Harry Mones is morning coach. Please, can you speak on Neimeth? Neimeth is on the road to rediscovery and rebirth. That's because they are doing everything possible to turn around the books that was looking messy. I think they've done a few things, including a court-ordered EGM, and gotten some shareholder approvals on 1 or 2 things to do. So a little bit time will be required for Neimeth to tidy up their balance sheet and come strong. In any case, the price currently hovers around 10 naira, and maybe anything slightly lower than that if there's a market dip wouldn't be a bad long-term position. This was a Neimeth we were buying. We were mentioning at 2 and 3 naira last year. I remember clearly we're here, and the owner of Neimeth that time sold about 20 million shares or so at 2 naira 50 kobo then. Now the stock price is 10. So you can imagine even owners of companies can sell and stock price jumps. And you begin to wonder. So you are not the only one whose village people trace you and pushes you to sell your stock immediately afterwards it jumps. Well, the owner of Neimeth experienced the same thing. The moment he sold off 1 year after, boom, Neimeth 10 naira. In fact, it climbed to 11 or 12. So that's the way it is. See it. 1 year ago, Neimeth was at, I'm not kidding here. Now let me share the screen so you can see, especially for those on YouTube. You can now see my screen. That's Neimeth for you. Let's analyze the 1 year chart. There you go. Today is the 18th of March, 2026. Can you see what I'm scrolling on the screen now? Follow me to exactly 1 year ago, 18th of March, 2025. How much is Neimeth there? 2 naira 74 kobo. Neimeth sold at 2 naira 74 kobo. Now we have it at 10 naira 25 kobo. Neimeth has done 277% gain for anybody who amassed it. So imagine you bought 1 million Neimeth a year ago. You would have spent 2.74 million naira. Now, a 1 million shares is worth 10.25 million naira. This is how the stock market can actually grow your money exponentially. Ladies and gents, this is what we are about. So even the most terrible companies can actually make you money. That's the beauty of the stock market. At the moment, I'm seeing basic earnings per share of 25 kobo. Let me try to confirm, because they were actually a loss-making firm as far as 1 year ago is concerned. It looks like they are turning the corner, and now earnings are at 23 kobo. How long it will take for them to grow these earnings so that it will justify current price and maybe advance further, no one can tell. I sold at 14 plus, I bought at 3 naira 16. You see, I have a witness in the house. Benjamin Bolaji is saying he bought Neimeth 316 and sold at 14 naira. More than 10 naira per share profit on each of the stocks he bought. Coach, please, what's the best entry for Charms? Aquafit Electronics in Lagos. I'll check right away and give you that information as far as Charms is concerned. Let's go there on the equities board. There you go. Charms is at 3 naira 99 kobo. 1 kobo below the 3 naira, the 4 naira closed yesterday. There are 12.4 million bids versus 8.7 million offers. So the bids are more than the offers, but Charms has a way of giving repeatedly. So there you are. Good opportunity under 4, anytime, any day, to collect Charms. We are here for the long term. Okay? All right. Please, Coach, good afternoon. Please, what can you say about Cadbury? Cadbury is really taking its time. I think it's okay where it is at around 70 naira or thereabouts. Let's see how much Cadbury is for now. 69 naira, okay? Up from the 67 of yesterday. So I think it's fair enough where Cadbury is at the moment, if you ask me. Keep your comments coming in, ladies and gents. Obi Chukwebuka says, Coach, please, how much can I be for MTN? And can I buy UBA instead of Zenith, Coach? Please, how much can I be for MTN? Yes, like I said, if you do not want to lose money immediately, because there's a way these things works. Those people who bought at 90 can decide to sell at 100 and even at 95, as long as there are gains on what they have sold or what they have bought they will want to sell down. And so you don't want to get into Zenith and then see yourself being sold down below what you bought. So a little bit of caution required for Zenith and to see how it stabilizes before you get in. But for MTN, I think it's being at that pullback level now. 759 is okay. You could buy Zenith at this price. MTN at this price. Queen of her world. Wow. I love this name. Queen of her world. That's nothing else others does affects you, influences you negatively or whatever. You are just yourself, and this aligns exactly with what I said when I gave the analogy of how Zenith has been trailing GT Bank in terms of price comparison, and suddenly now up there in the 100 naira per share club. Queen of our world is not moved by peer pressure and all what the noises are going on. Focus on developing yourself, growing your net worth so that you can walk out of any situation you don't like. Everything answered to money. So build your money, stay focused. Don't worry whether someone is talking about 100 million, 500 million, 1 billion. If it is 100,000 you have, focus there and keep growing it. Watch yourself. Are you making progress by 6 months into 2026? If you are, you're on the right track. As long as you are better than your previous self, perfect. Let me tell everyone here, stop getting moved and influenced by what others are doing. By the way, social media is full of fakes. Watch for the really rich people. You don't even see them taking photos in front of their cars. For what? There's no time for that. You don't see them standing in front of a building and taking photos and say, see my house. For what? What has that got to do with your network that should be growing? So if you feed the public that information, what has it added to your bank account? So just stay focused. Your only competition, listen, you are not in competition with nobody. Whether it is by age, whether it is by height, whether it is by marriage, whatever it is, you are in no competition with anybody. You are unique. The number one and best competition you have is of your previous self. Who you were yesterday is your competition today. Beat that you of yesterday and you keep making progress on a daily basis. I've gone on talking about this name until because it aligns so well with what I initially opened today's live stream with. And now, Queen of our own world, your question has scrolled away, but I'm searching you out again. So, there you go. My coach, please talk about Boa Cement to jump out or stay in. That means you missed my opinion earlier, and my opinion earlier is to jump out. At the moment, there is no justification, especially if you bought Boa short term. Please understand this. There are people who got into Boa when we started buying Boa at 90. And I've told you before that I sold my Boa and went into other things. I told you I sold my Boa. So I'm not in the current rally now. It's that simple. But if you are staying long term, please stay because we don't know whether Boa is heading to 500 naira per share. When I jumped into Boa at 75.90 naira per share, there were two Boa plants that were supposed to be commissioned, but 1 year passed, weren't hearing anything about it. I know the cement industry really went into all sorts of trouble. In fact, the entire industrial sector in Nigeria, because of the foreign exchange losses that most of them suffered. And so maybe that hampered that project. But then anything can come up again. Who knows? Maybe what is behind the rally is now news about those plants. By the way, there's something going on in Sokoto State that Boa Cement is involved in as well. Maybe that is responsible, but there's a whole lot going on. I think last year I shared with us how Abdul Samad has joined forces with some Chinese manufacturers to improve Boa Foods production and product line. And then also the cement aspect of it too was receiving some attention for improvement. So all manner is going on that could justify what's happening with Boa. But what you can't take away from taking profit, especially if you are there for the short term, is profit takers will still come sell down from that 326. I'm sure they started selling a lot from yesterday, or even from when it hit 300. So don't be surprised, they will sell down to under 300 again. And if you are not there for the long term, then you can take a profit. Okay, ladies and gents, we'll go back to Facebook to hear more from Prince Michael. Says, Coach, please, is UPDC REIT a good stock to buy? It is a good stock, but you've got to stay patient. If you are not looking for quick capital gains, then you stay patient in PZ. What I know about PZ is that the dividend is reasonable, the price has not run too far, and it's a 1 million share challenge that I'm comfortably seated in. Sometimes we need to also be guided and to be advised about staying patient when we buy stock. Sometimes you can decide to actually sell, even if you decide to stay patient. Please, I'd like you to know you are not in prison. And that's why you are the CEO of your portfolio. Okay? For me, I'm sitting there because I know what I missed in SFS REIT and Union Homes REIT. Now, I've learned my lesson. I need that REIT that will give me quantum returns in terms of dividend payouts. So whenever UPDC REIT grows to the point of paying 1 naira per share, 2 naira per share, 10 naira per share, then I know what I'm going to be getting. It's not easy. You're going to be tempted along the road. But then, if you stay on, you will indeed receive the price. I remember SFS rate was 50 naira per share, maybe 4 years ago now. An SFS rate is now selling for 400 and something. That's it there, 418. Only 1,715 shares sold is worth 700,000 naira. Only less than 2,000 shares sold is 700,000. And when they pay their dividends, like 20 naira per share. All right, coach, please, how much can I bid for UBA now, sir? Lexi, UBA, let's see, around 49, I think. Currently 49 naira as we speak. Down from the 50 naira 90 kobo it traded. So anybody can buy UBA now at 49. And something is always going on. There is a strong resistance. Every time UBA tries to gain, the amount of offers, currently 40 million offers versus 1.9 million bids, just to keep the price stagnated for a while. For whatever reasons, we do not know. But you know what? You play the game accordingly, right? Make sure you are watching the moves of the money bags in the market, where the money is going, and play them according to their game. Now, if there is a deliberate attempt to ensure UVA doesn't go beyond 50 for a period, you now take advantage of that and put patient funds there and wait. Whenever they let it fly, then you are in big money. This boa that is now looking very wonderful today, if the holders tell you how they suffered, months after months, boa will be doing full offer. Nobody's buying. 75 naira, 90 naira at some point. Nobody was buying. It will drop again to 85 naira. Months after months. Meanwhile, other stocks were jumping. Get used to these things. It's normal. Then when their day comes, they will now be the talk of the town. By that time, they've gone high. Then people are trying to buy. You have been there. Done that. Okay? All right. Modish Hairs says, good afternoon, coach. Is this still a good time to get UBA? Yes, it is. Tip and tantalizers, yes. And good prices to buy them. Actually, those three stocks she mentioned are still within range. UBA, tip, tantalizers. Just, you see, UBA is down to 48.85 as we speak. 48.85, coming back to value zone again. Tantalizers also is at value zone. And then for tip, I would say patiently buy at under 20. I used to say under 19, but if it stubbornly refuses to go under 19, then the next available option is under 20. If you are investing for the long term, you have nothing to fear. Marachi says, okay, I think I was responding to Marachi. All right. Keep your comments coming in, ladies and gents. Let's see. Oh, loads of comments on Instagram. Monish Hairs. Monish Hairs says, good afternoon, coach. Please, is this a good entry price for Beta Glass? Aha, let's see my Beta Glass. Beta Glass is at 498. I saw some stunts they did this morning. They tried to make some sales at 500 and something to tell us, look, if you are not buying, we are going to 500. But guess what? The bids are far less than the offer, so there's nothing to fear about yet. You can actually bid at 490 naira and possibly get today, if not even 470 or 480, because there are just 73,000 bids versus 1.1 million offers. I just feel so many of these people will later realize after the market closes that today was the last trading day of the week. There's no trading tomorrow, neither is there trading on Friday. So there's no live stream on Friday as well. So pay attention as we continue to go through live in the market. Coach, an NGO is looking to invest 4 million naira for long term, 1 to 2 years. What do you recommend? 1 to 2 years, 4 million naira. Only 2 stocks I would recommend. What could those 2 stocks be? At the moment, PZ still ticks the box. And this is how it happens. A lot of times, I will repeatedly be mentioning a stock until I stop. So, PZ and UBA, or PZ and hold on, let me go through what we have here. NGO. You know, you shouldn't do penny stocks with these ones. Okay. Okay. We will go PZ and UBA, or PZ and a stock like Vitafoam. I think you should leave UBA alone. PZ and Vitafoam 2 years from now. Right on point, coach. I have long realized that, and my life has tremendously changed. That's coming from first being double. Okay? He's referring to the idea of focusing on yourself and just improving and refusing any form of distractions about who is doing what. You are not in competition with no one. That's why there are no the same fingerprints. No 2 people out of 7 billion humans on the earth have the same fingerprints. Doesn't that tell you how unique you are? Do you want me to go and start telling you what a winner you are? 250 million sperm cells were in competition to come and be human beings in your mother's ovary. There was a fight, a competition. Sperm cells were swimming, 250 million plus. Out of that multitude of contestants, you came out as the winner. Do you know what battle you fought and won? So why compare yourself with one individual who is not even aware that you are comparing yourself with them? You are a winner on your own, a champion. Go out there and fulfill your destiny. Don't let me go philosophical and motivational. We are making real money here, but you must realize yourself. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to take your course now on TikTok. If you are enjoying this session, come on, type yes, 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 yes. Curated by T is all smiles and laughing. Ines says, Coach, don't enter biology. Whatever it is, realities, we must be reminded of certain realities so that you don't go and condemn yourself. What makes people go and commit suicide is because they think they are inadequate. Who told you that you must pass JAMB to make it in life? Yes, pass JAMB. But there are millions of people who pass JAMB, they can't go to university. Not because they don't have knowledge, but because there's no money to fund their education. But you know what? There is still something to do in this day and age of social media, content creation, and what have you. Don't limit yourself to only the academic standard of yesteryears. There are too many things you can do. The world may be laughing at Pella, but he's making the money. The only problem is the principles, the morals, the standards are not there. The values were not instilled in him. Otherwise, he could have been an all-round success without education. And you don't need education for morals, values, principles. Our grandparents who didn't go to school had those morals that could have made you a sane human being, make good money, and make good use of the money for humankind. In our case, we are making good use of the sense, the intellect, the experience, the knowledge we have of the stock market for the betterment of humankind. That's why we're here talking to you for free. Go there, use the things we are showing you, make money for yourself, feel good, be happy, go on vacation, enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll stop there. All right, before I sound like a motivational speaker, aspire to aspire. Those things don't bring money. So here, we make money. Let's go. Nos Sunny, first caller. Good afternoon, Sunny. Tell us where you're streaming from. I got your name now.
Yeah, it's Adamu Sani from Manchester, UK, sir. We spoke last Friday and Monday.
Adamu, well done from Manchester. Go ahead. We have Zenith Bank opening in your location now.
I'm so excited, sir. I was really checking to see which exact location they're opening in Manchester, but I couldn't find it. But I'm sure later it will come up.
Never mind, you will find out later in the news because tomorrow that branch will be opening in Manchester. Go ahead with your comments or questions.
My question is only one question there today, sir. Is as you mentioned in your own words that the market doesn't move in a straight line. So is it? And you mentioned a couple of times in this live session that there may be a possible market dip in May, June, if I remember correctly. So is it advisable to deploy more funds now or wait for May, June possibility?
All what they exist at the moment, while having in mind that a dip comes around that time, post-dividend markdown and bonus and all of that. So best approach if you have funds now is have that capital you have, look for the best available mentions being made in the live stream, deploy into them, wait for that period again and watch to see if anyone you bought dips. If they don't, then you look for fresh opportunities at that time that will eventually dip to deploy the balance. That way, you make the most of both occasions.
Right. So is it advisable to deploy more on BUA now or wait for dip because it's
You can't be going into BUA that I just mentioned. You are going to be setting yourself up for an immediate loss because those who made the money when it was 250 overnight to 300 and something can sell down back to 250. How about you buy at 310 or 20 and then it dips to 280 or 60? You will feel terribly bad. So that's not where to go. Remember, don't run into stocks that are being celebrated. You are already late to the party. Settle down, calm down, don't be moved. Search for what is being mentioned now that is not yet celebrated. That's the way to go.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Hey, Coach Chris, what's your take on John Holt? Thanks. Nothing too wonderfully attractive as far as John Holt is concerned. Currently 11, up from 1080. If I remember very vividly, I have nothing much about John Holt to share, other than the fact I think they are actually a profit-making company now, 1 naira 28 kobo, but I think the profit margin, the profit dropped. We need to see. So I think that's the level of discouragement that John Holt is going through now. Reason why it had to pull back a little bit after touching 1185, but it's here now doing 1150 again. One other thing that is a problem with John Holt is it's not also very liquid, but these days, who cares about liquidity as far as there's money to be made? Because shares outstanding for John Holt is less, 389 million. Hello, good afternoon. Do we have a live caller or it's a mistaken call? So we go on to the next. All right, that could be a mistaken call, so we'll let him go and we'll make progress with any other callers. I want to be very fast today because it's our last trading day of the week. If you are surprised why it's our last trading day of the week, it's because tomorrow and next is our Muslim holidays. Hello, first to speak. Your name and where you're streaming from. Hello, good afternoon. Erudite child, you have the floor.
Yes. All right, good afternoon, sir. I've only recently been following you. You know, to be honest, there are quite lots of education out there like yourself, and someone actually driven to you that I feel like you're quite knowledgeable, I think, based on your work of experience. So I'm actually streaming from southwest of England. So there are quite a lot of questions in my mind, but I think I'll start off this way about your class. How are you doing that? Because I think I tried messaging you on IG and you haven't replied. Maybe I should start from there. Maybe there's a way to join your
Is it Network Investors Club?
Yes.
Okay, it's still the same way. In fact, I'm trying to get help now for a professional to be going through messages and responding right away. So that will be sorted, but please don't be discouraged. It's currently on me, and I come in, stay a little while on the DMs, respond to comments, and go back to do a whole lot of other things that I'm involved in. So if you send a DM and after 24 hours there's not been a response, resend. Keep resending in 24-hour intervals so that maybe just when you send, I'm back again, checking through, responding, I could eventually respond to you before the professionals take over from me. I feel your worries and concerns with having to wait that long.
Alright, so the reason why to join the class is actually because I know I need knowledge in how to channel my funds. And that's because my investments as it were at the moment, they're quite scattered. I've got mutual funds, I've got ETFs, because even I also invest in, like, I've got trading towards, I've got some of this investment, but some of the tips you've given, I've seen that they've given me a little yield. At least I've got like 1.5 million, in sort of profits.
Fantastic.
Following you. Yeah. And I've got like 10M invested. So I'm also thinking of how, to channel some of my other funds. Because like I said, I've got there's a Stanbic money market. I've got funds in there, like over 6 million. So I was thinking, should I leave it there? I enjoy the fact that it's going steadily, being factual. And I'm also a long-time investor, as it were. So I was thinking, should I put out some of the funds? And because you've been advising on PZ, you've been advising on some of these things. I think you gave top 10 on IG, and I immediately invested in all of them. Not high chunk of shares, but I was thinking if you got any recommendations for me. Like I said, I've got so many apps and I've got investments everywhere, so I'm just thinking of maybe concentrating on perhaps Nigerian stocks, or should I leave it, as diversified as it is at the moment?
No problems with diversifying, but I think if you know you can now channel funds to stocks, you can leave those ones there. But if you know you don't have too much funds to channel to stocks,
Yes.
then you may have to halve your investments in fixed assets and move them to stocks, while still funding stocks repeatedly, no matter how small, as as your cash flow permits. I think that's the best approach, because you don't want to sit back looking at that money, not doing much, when you now have been exposed to the guidance and knowledge to really use the stock market to your advantage. The truth is, if you are in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, you have no business leaving a chunk of your money in fixed assets. I don't care if it's ETF or whatever. The stock market is the wealth engine to exponentially grow what you have. When it grows to an extent and you are now approaching your 50s and 60s, then you move money from stocks and go for safety in bonds, particularly, because with bonds, the more the merrier. So your money just sleeping there, doing you 17% and just almost like looking like a waste of your time, when it could do you 100% in stocks, 50%, at least 30% in a year. Otherwise, we have seen 100%, somebody is doing 100% in Boa Cement in less than a few months. So anything can happen with stocks. And I think that's where to go, especially knowing that Nigerian stocks are repricing, and then of course pension funds is finding its way into the market. So much more growth potentials there.
Alright, so I wouldn't want to take much of your time, so I think that class will be beneficial, because to be honest, in the long term it will be quite beneficial. If I show you my Bumble account now, it's quite diversified. Channels, Cortis, it's a whole lot. I think about 20 companies thereabouts, if that's the right terminology. So
no problem. Just send your message again, and then we'll take it up from there. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for it.
Thank you. Okay, Kaka says her portfolio says she has made over 90% in stocks within a year. I'll pull out of mutual funds if it's me. All right. Hey, it's Kaka. Kaka is flying 90% within a year. Do you know what that means? We have a lot of smart ladies here. You can see their results speaking for them. It's not about noise. They have results to show. Put your hands together for Network Investors Club ladies, man. They are killing it here. And if you're a lady, you're listening to us even for the first time, be encouraged. You are where you're going to be supported all around to succeed by force. Okay? Yesterday we were having fun in the group, chatting away, laughing, and making, enjoying ourselves. Your money is growing. You are enjoying laughter and so on. What else do you want? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Your name and where you're streaming from?
My name is Harry from Ogun State, sir.
Hi, Ray from Ogun State. Thank you for joining. Go ahead.
Yes, Coach. Thank you for everything you've been teaching us. And I appreciate the fact that I've learned a lot from you, sir. I just have a couple of questions, sir, I want you to talk about the FCMB Bank and the Mia Baker, sir. I'm thinking about selling off my FCMB shares to buy the UBA. Is that advisable, sir?
It is advisable. Proceed. You are thinking well.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Coach, talk about Chams, please. Kelvin Madu, PhD. Chams is waiting for fresh passengers to take on a journey. We are waiting as well. Long-term, 1 million share challenge, no stories. It is gradually building what will shoot the price up. But while that is going on, you will meet some impatient investors or some who really need their money. So they will not care. Those who bought at 2 naira My average entry price for charms actually is 1 naira 88. By the time you add my rights and public offer that just passed. Okay, so people like us don't care. We are staying put. That's all I have to say about charms. I'm confident of the future of charms. I'm patiently waiting, watching it go through that process. Remember, I shared with us how the NACO we refer to today that moved from 2 naira to 170 something it is today in 5 years did not jump overnight. There was no regular progressive movement. No, it lingered for nearly 2 years under 2 naira and nobody saw it. So if you know this game, you will take a huge dose of patience pill. You will swallow patience and drink water. It's those people that will really enjoy. There are so many people who bought that NACO at 2 naira. They sold at 10 naira. So that's the way it works. You can't eat your cake and have it. Stop trying to also barge into stocks. Oh, this one is jumping. You run in. You will lose. I've been in the stock market for 28 years. You will just lose every money you came with if that is how you want to invest. Invest where you are sure and have peace. Let them do the business. Like I said, a lot of people come into the stock market thinking it's one of these digital assets like crypto and forex. No offense for anybody who is making money through those platforms, but there are no tangible things you are holding on to say you are investing in. So because those are traded digitally and stocks are traded digitally too, you come with that mentality of let me quickly take my gain, let me quickly take my gain. Then you can't see the long-term reward for investing really, because as for stocks, when you buy a stock, you are buying a portion of the company, you become a part owner of a business. That business, that company, they employ people, they have offices, they are rendering services, they are creating value in exchange for money. At some point, revenue comes in, profit translates, and then from the profit after tax, it manifests as dividend in your account. For being a part owner of the business, it's like having a partnership with somebody, the business succeeds, you share profit. That's what you are doing here. So don't expect stock price will just jump, boom. What is jumping it? There are things that determines price movement. Number one, earnings. What have they done to justify a price movement upwards if they earn far better than they did the previous year and are declaring something interesting, and so on and so forth. So you are not in a kalu business, sir. Next caller. He came, the money man. Hello, good afternoon. He greets us with laughter. That's his signature. Your name and where you're streaming from?
Good afternoon, sir. This is
He came from where?
From Norway, sir.
He came from Norway, the headquarters of Stockfish. So many people are unaware. You think Stockfish came from the eastern Nigeria? It's from Norway, the headquarters. Go ahead, he came.
Okay, sir. I want to thank you because I have been thanking you in the group. Maybe you may not see my messages.
Please resend me the thank you message privately. I want to see them.
Okay, then let me thank you here as well.
Okay.
So everybody will learn from the thank you. Yeah, do you remember last year when I called you concerning that I want to sell Zenith Bank to buy USDN?
Mm-hmm.
And you said I shouldn't sell Zenith. You said don't touch your Zenith. Leave it there. You can leave it there.
Okay.
So
I can't even remember.
It's far much more bigger than whatever. So, and I should just forget about USC and that. USCN is flying now, so don't chase a flying stuff.
How much was Zenith that time?
Sir?
How much was Zenith that time?
Okay, Zenith was around, that was last year. I bought Zenith at 64. I bought 150,000 units of Zenith at 64. So it's around maybe 70, 71 or thereabout. So the USCN is approaching, I think, 95 or thereabout. After it moved from, I think, from 50 or thereabout. Yeah.
Continue.
So the 150K Zenith, I wanted to sell it to buy USCN. Because some people on Facebook and Instagram were hyping USCN will do 1,000 by January, by this, and and I said, let me join in this USCN party, you know. So then I called you and you said, no, Kim, you are my boy. Don't sell your Zenith. Leave it there, please. And I said, okay, sir. I will not sell it. And I left it. And today, look at the Zenith. The 64 Naira Zenith I bought 150K is now 112 or 111. So I just want to thank you and say, may God bless you and your family.
Amen.
Because now Zenith is looking like it's going into international markets now. And it's among your never sell stocks in the next 10 years. So I want to thank you very, very much. I just want to say very big thank you. The things we contributed in the group for you, I don't think is enough yet. Time will come, we'll start giving you cars and giving you houses.
Amen. Thank you so much. As you were talking, I just had to go back to see what USCN is doing there. It's at 98. So if you rushed in and bought that USCN that time, there's not been any serious advancement.
Honestly.
And then Zenith has now come and overtaken the USCN.
Everything, and Zenith is now in one star. Because if they list in Manchester and they continue like this, and this is just March, coach. This is just March. You know, this is just March, you know. Thank you very, very much. Honestly, I wouldn't have known what the kind of weeping that I'll be doing by that. So that's it last year. So thank you very much. Like I said, and I reiterate again, that time will come when we'll be giving you cars and houses.
The prophecy is going on. Amen.
Tips around the world. It just that when I started telling people to contribute money to appreciate our coach, that what he has been doing is wonderful. Because some people kicked against it and they pray for people. Some people supported it, while some people did not. And it's okay. Because I believe time will come, they will see the value you are giving on a platter of good. So time will come when houses will start coming, cars will start coming, and many more. Thank you very much, Coach. I appreciate it, and may God bless you and your beautiful family in Jesus' name.
Amen. Thank you so much, Ikem. I didn't understand that you had the prophetic aspect of your ministry. Now I understand. And I receive all the prophecies wholeheartedly. Thank you so much. God bless you too. Ladies and gents, we are in such an appreciative group. Always thank you. You guys are simply amazing. It's a serious encouragement to just be here and always do the best to guide us. One thing is, I found amongst rich people a quality, teachability. You can be an expert in something, but when you want to learn something else, wealthy people are quick to humble themselves and be teachable and just take direction, take instructions, take guidance. Anybody who is quick to be guided avoids a lot of errors. It doesn't mean USCN will not do well. He can even now comfortably start buying the USCN at 98 Naira. maybe 95 as well. And USDN will still eventually do 150 later. Study the moves of the rich, you get the results of the rich. I'm preparing a video, not compilation, nothing there. I'm preparing a video about the move that the MD of Zenith did. Already, I will post the video of them opening in Manchester tomorrow, no problems. But there is a lesson to learn from that move that lady made. You will see that video and learn. She bought 68 million shares of Zenith Bank last year at 45 naira or so per share. Check it now. She spent about 3.3 billion naira buying those stocks. Check how much she has made right now, from 45 to 1,000 and something, 100 and something. She has already made 100% of the 3-point-something billion. And now they are positioning Zenith to start getting even much more foreign exchange inflow. You have no idea. All right, ladies and gents, we'll go on to the next callers. Keep the comments coming in. I'll try my best to shuffle amongst calls and comments. Okay. Coach, good afternoon. I sell or hold my Owando now. I actually mentioned somewhere that at 50-something naira, I will sell my Owando. You can see how volatile the oil thing was. I told all of us this one will not last. Take advantage. If you are in those stocks that rallied, it was the time to sell. If you were not, don't chase them. Those things are too volatile for you to now participate. Even Aradel had moved enough before other stocks began to respond. So Aradel's movement wasn't in response of the crisis in the Gulf region. You get the point. So ours is for the long term. I'm waiting to see Aradel jump. The next leap will be to 1,005. And that may just be when they publish their full year result and announce dividends. Coach, good afternoon. What stock can I go into with 300K? 300K. Buy tip and go to bed. Hello, good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
My name is Flora. I'm streaming from Port Harcourt.
Flora from Port Harcourt. Please, could you go away from the noise?
Alright. Can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Thank you, Coach. I just want to appreciate you. I'm just joining your live stream today. And from the few minutes I've listened to you, I can see that you are really fast in this area. So now my question is, I just want to start this stock business. With your guidance, I know, I believe that I know I can do something very well. So now, I just have to start with 300,000. So what stock can I go with?
First of all, we will always recommend, Flora, that you get knowledge. And the beautiful thing about our community is that you can learn while you earn. So you don't have to wait till you acquire sufficient knowledge. It is in your best interest that even as recommendations are done for you, you join the Network Investors Club. We are on Discord, over 6,600 members consisting of Nigerians in Nigeria and abroad. Follow discussions going on there so you can build your own capacity to continue to grow wealth from the stock market. Having said that, you said how much do you have to deploy at the moment? Do you have a stock brokerage account, by the way?
I have a bamboo account.
Okay, no problems. How much are you looking to deploy?
300,000.
Buy tip, 19 naira and under. Buy tip, TIP. Did you get that? That's enough. Thank you very much. To join Network Investors Club, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM requesting to join the Discord group, and the link will be forwarded to you so you can join. All right, send your request and you build up from there, okay? Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, sir. Quickly, your name, where you're streaming from. We want to see how many we can take because this live stream is the last for the week as there is no trading tomorrow and next. Go on.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for everything. It was a beautiful sharing. I just want to quickly ask of you.
Your voice is disappearing. Could you speak louder or take out the earpiece?
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir. Just a quick question. What's the name of
WAPCO.
What's really called?
WAPCO. Would that be all? Thank you very much. I'm sure he was waiting for explanation, but very simple. The numbers are clearly in favor of WAPCO. WAPCO has better numbers at the moment, irrespective of whatever developments that may be going on backstage. We these days invest based on the numbers we see. There is a comment by Caritas on YouTube that Boa Cement is planning to increase annual tonnage, production tonnage from 17 million to 20 million tons and resumption of exportation to Niger and Burkina Faso. We want to see that translate into numbers before we buy into certain stocks. Otherwise, based on what's going on now, WAPCO. By the way, WAPCO also has their fantastic plans. Expansion, cost cutting, and all manner. So, as far as the numbers are concerned, it's WAPCO for me. Sir Bonnie. Good afternoon. Your name and where you're streaming from?
The name is Shadrach from Lagos, Nigeria.
Shadrach from Lagos, thanks for joining. Go ahead.
Firstly, I want to say thank you so much. The knowledge you have passed on us. I started following you about 2 weeks ago on IG. And since then, I've been getting some tips which I've been trying to utilize. So, I have a question. I use Bamboo and I have about 13 stocks which I bought. So I want to ask concerning the 1 million challenge. I have about 2 that you mentioned. I think you said PZ was amongst them, but not right now because it's about 10. So I still bought PZ, but I have fertilizers and charms.
What's your question?
My question is, should I continue buying either of those two, or should I go in on some other stocks? Big stocks like
Let me explain. Your 1 million shares challenge does not have a timeline. You take your time to keep building. But also keep an eye on price movements. If it's something you can buy off huge quantities at once, it's better. So you don't get to buy later more expensive than you did initially. Then, of course, it should also not take your focus off the main portfolio, which will rather be populated by the big guns, also known as the blue chips. So at every point in time, it's your decision to make. Okay, with the more funds available now, I think this can get me substantial RDL. Let me go for RDL. Later on, some money comes. Okay, I will now go for fertilizers or mutual benefits or whatever it is that is your 1 million share challenge stocks. That's a very straightforward and simple thing. Easy way to go. When there is bulk money, buy the big guns. When the money is not that substantial because they can't get you much of the big guns, you feed the 1 million challenge stocks, and gradually, step by step, before you know it, you cross the finish line as far as your target 1 million quantity is concerned. Thank you.
Question, quick one. I have Fidelity Bank. Is it a good stock to hold?
Right now, until we see the full year 2025 results of Fidelity, just like we're waiting for all other banks, you can't really say. The reason why we've been on Fidelity is because it's been doing fantastically well, paying dividend twice a year. Until last year when the CBN decided no more forbearance. All those who were wavered during COVID to not provide for bad loans, it's time to clear all of that. That's why Fidelity had to make that provision and therefore did not pay interim dividend last year. Interim. We're now waiting to see what they pay out as per final dividend. The same also happened, something similar happened to UBA. They paid 2 naira per share 2024 interim dividend. When it came to 2025, with that CBN's stance that you will not pay dividend if you don't clear forbearance outstandings, UBA now had to whittle down the dividend from 2 naira per share to 25 kobo. And the stock price got hammered as a result. From 48, it collapsed to 36 from where it has built back up from. So everyone is now waiting for the full year result to make their final judgment. Thank you. You said last question. You have finished your question, sir. So that we can take orders. Thank you very much. Coach, I currently have 400k units of Uninsure. Is this a good stock for the 1 million challenge? Absolute yes. Mish Dan. 1 million challenge, Uninsure. Good enough. Yewande Gango says, Coach, please kindly do a video on reclaiming stocks of a deceased parent and the easy way to go about it. There is no easy way to go about such a sensitive situation. By the way, there's already a video to that effect. All you need to do, just check through my past videos. Hello, good afternoon. Are you there, Al-Juid? Al-Wajud. Hello, good afternoon. Miss BB, tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
I want to buy an idea for my mom. How much should I buy for her?
Oh, what a wonderful daughter. She looks out for her mom. Interesting stuff there. Just hold on. These are the kind of stories I like to hear. Could you lower the volume on your device? Because I'm getting a hall back here. So our NIDF NIDF currently 120 naira.
20 naira.
120 naira.
20 naira.
You will explain to her. Yes, that's a good entry because it closed at 126 yesterday. So if you put in a bid at 120, hopefully it gets through. That will be a good entry. Just educate her further that it will not run too much in terms of growth, but she will surely be getting quarterly dividends. Beginning from April, she will receive her first dividend. And April, no, it's not. Yes, April. April, she'll get her first dividend. And April is next month. All right, thank you very much. She will love that. Interesting. All right, cheers.
Thank you, sir. So 120, sir.
120, yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. These are the kind of stocks you recommend for your parents, retirees. They don't need to work, they don't need to struggle. Every 3 months, they get dividends paid. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Coach.
Your name and where you're streaming from?
Coming from the United Kingdom. Thank you very much for everything you do, Coach.
You didn't say your name, sir.
The name is Fabulous.
Fabulous from UK. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Please, I just want you to get your thoughts on this not of flower meal. Is it good to sell or to stay hold?
Well, if you can sell right now, because it's been difficult to sell because it's always on full offer.
Yeah.
And so far, after nearly 4 hours of trading, only 5,000 shares have been sold. So when you are not able to sell, you just have to sit it out and wait until bids start coming out again. It's normal back and forth that happens with these things.
Okay. So, if you are to advise as well on Zenith, is it still okay once they continue buying, or one should sit down now or something?
Wait, and if you feel your quantity of Zenith is not satisfactory yet, sit it out. When it bottoms out, when it recovers from whatever sellers, profit takers do to bring the price down, then you add more to it. Do not jump in immediately to start topping up.
Okay. Sorry again. Your thought again on the Keregu power as well.
Keregu power, one of the most frustrating for those who want to sell. That's because the market considers it overvalued, even though it continues to work hard enough to still be paying out billions in dividends. But that current valuation of over 1,000, market is still waiting for it to be justified. And for that reason, it's not attracting buyers.
Okay. So my last question would be for the McNichols. Will you advise me to go into McNichols now, or do I need to wait? Because I don't have any on that at all. And do you see McNichols doing as in behaving like maybe PZ or Ibukua or something? Do you see McNichols planting stands in food or maybe diabetes sugar?
That comparison is just over ambitious at the moment. McNichols needs time to grow. You are asking a toddler to start doing high jump.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Because I look at it, because this is on the consumer sector, I was thinking maybe the way I envisioned it, okay, it might be like doesn't happen automatically. Let the baby grow, sir. Okay, which means I still need to wait it out then.
Let the baby grow, sir. Okay, time to enter. Listen, if you want to take an early position, so many people bought McNichols at 2. It jumped to 9 and it has come back to around 6 now. Wait for that general market pullback and see where it lands and settles before you now take a long-term position. But please do not expect that baby to start doing high jump.
I understand.
Thank you.
Understand.
All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Coach. Thank you.
Hello, Great PG. Are you there? Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Sam. Yeah.
Your name and where you're streaming from?
Yeah, I'm Great PG. I'm calling from Brazil.
You're calling from where?
Brazil.
Brazil. All right. Go ahead.